Slay, so Schefter tweets out yesterday near the end of the show, Lions have spoken with multiple teams about a potential trade for Pro Bowl cornerback Darius Slay per sources. Any team that trades for Slay would have to compensate Detroit and Slay with a new deal. Other teams believe Slay will be traded this offseason, but Lions adamant on value. Okay, I like the adamant on value, but I don't really like trading him. Gator, I've given my reason and my logic behind it. Is it flawed? I always look in the mirror and say, all right, am I wrong on this? You know, I'm willing to change if somebody can convince me that trading Slay makes sense with a quarterback whose window isn't closed, but probably will start to close soon. Don't you have to keep your best players? And given what he's asking for, which is seems like the tweets that he's liked in the past implies he wants to be the highest paid corner in the league, and is he just the next good guy whose contract is up? I would pay him $17 million. I'd try and do it short term, but I would pay him $17 million. I don't know that you can afford to let him walk, because right now I think what's in play is keeping Slay and drafting Jeffrey Okudah. Well, if they let Slay walk, now you kind of have to draft Jeffrey Okudah. Yeah, you can also make a splash in free agency, but the free agent pool of corners isn't great.
I have a harder time of being convinced that Slay should be paid that much, but I'm more of the shorter term with him.
Mm-hmm.
You want to rip up the contract now and give him a 3-year deal when there's an out for that third year, and it's front loaded, and we can talk about that. But I struggle with paying him that much money, knowing that this is when the skills are going to diminish, and we may have already started to see it. I like Darius Slay a lot. He is by far the best player they have on the defensive side of the ball, and it would be hard to replace him. And obviously, if the window of opportunity to win, you need him. If you believe in the edict, you got to have him on the team. And it seems like the team is operating, well, we have this edict, and yet we're going to move him. Dave Burkett has been saying for months that they're going to move Darius Slay. I think the writing has been on the wall for a long time that they want to move on from Darius Slay. And yet that, to me, it's weird because that is in direct contrast with what the edict is to win now. If you trade Darius Slay and you get draft picks for him, and you select now and then you select Okudah with the first pick, with your third pick overall. You've got a rookie corner who may be outstanding and may be great, maybe just as good as Slay is right out of the chute. But you're back at square one, aren't you?
Yes, and boy, is your belief in your own chalkboard really great to think we can improve this defense without Darius Slay. I mean, you can if you take the $17 million and make two incredibly shrewd signings and you get two really good players for the price of the one. And you can, if you are drafting a guy that's going to hit the ground running and be great in year one, I suppose, and paying that guy a lot less than you're paying Darius Slay. That is a massive leap of faith for even the best of coaching staffs. And there's reason to have some concerns about the coaching staff here. I'm not going to bury them completely and say it's pointless because of who's running this team. But I think any system needs great players. Like, I think that's one of the great falsehoods in sports. You need to have the material to work with. It's not everything you do in the film room and everything you do schematically makes you great. You still have to have players.
Yeah. You have to have talent.
And this guy's good. He's really good. I just don't think you can let him walk.
It makes me wonder how much they really don't like Slay's attitude, how much they really don't like that. They don't think Slay's buying into the system. They don't like how outspoken Slay has been, especially when Diggs got traded.
Yep.
It makes me wonder how much they really, buy into this Patriot system. You know what I mean? Do your job, right? Be quiet about it. It must be bad because on the field, Darius Slay is a plus, a positive, the best defensive player you have. But off the field, inside the locker room, they clearly are butting heads. And if they don't want to pay him what he thinks he's worth, and they'd rather move on and believe in the system and go out and get like a Chris Harris Jr., or maybe they go big and try to get Byron Jones. You know what I mean? They rather have somebody else than Darius Slay. We had Burkett was on the morning show last week, and his gut feeling was they were going to trade Slay. I can't believe it's come to this because this team is bad already. To lose players that are actually good, I don't see how it helps.
Well,
and like I said, I mentioned those two guys, but they're going to have to do something if they trade Slay.
And you're also talking about going after, okay, let's say they can get Byron Jones, or, I mean, if they're going to let Slay walk and get Byron Jones for cheaper, I'm okay with that, but there's no guarantee you're going to get Byron Jones. Like, I almost feel like if they sign Byron Jones, then go ahead and trade him. Look, Jalen Ramsey got 2 firsts and a 4th. Darius Slay ain't getting that, and the Lions aren't getting that. We'll get into more of this, more of your phone calls coming up. Karsch and Anderson. The last 24 hours, Schefter reports that there's lots of talks with Slay getting traded, and Mel Kiper comes out with his mock draft 2.0, and the Lions take Tua at 3. It's created quite a stir and buzz, not only locally but nationally. Get to more of your reaction coming up. 97.1 The Ticket.